Good afternoon, our listener. Welcome on our video today. We are revising Israel government, and this is Form 2 work. I will request you to subscribe to our channel if you have not yet subscribed. To the subscribers, we really want to thank you guys for your support. Question number 1: give two methods used by the elders to pass information on the young generation during the pre-colonial period. We have a proverb, riddles, songs, poem, narratives, myth, legends, folk tales. Number 2, state two disadvantages of using caves as shelters by the early human being during the Stone Age period. What were the disadvantages of living in a cave? Number 1, insecurity, and that is they could be attacked by wild animals. Number 2, caves were exposed to floods, that is floods. We have cold, we have weed. Next, caves could collapse over them. Then the last one, human enemies could easily attack them. Number 3, identify one type of monarchical government. We have absolute monarchy, then constitutional monarchy. Question number 4, name one Southern Kushite community in Kenya. That is Dahalo. You can also call them Sanye. Let's move to the next question. State the main reason for the coming of Portuguese to Kenyan coast in 15 AD. They came to Kenyan coast for trade. That was the main reason why they came. Number 7, name one Arab family which ruled the Kenyan coast on behalf of Oman. This question is very common. We have Mazruhi family, we have Nabahana family, we have Al Busaidi family. Then give two reasons that can make one be deregistered as a Kenyan citizen. What can make one to be deregistered as a Kenyan citizen? If the citizenship was acquired through fraud or corruption. Next, if a person supports or is found to have supported an enemy during war. If a person is convicted to imprisonment for 3 or more years within the first 5 years after registration. Next, if a person at any time after registration have been convicted of treason or 7 years imprisonment. Identify one economic responsibility of Kenyan citizen. Number 1, paying tax. 2, participating in development activities. Next, engaging in income generation. Then the last one, fighting corruption. These are some of the economic responsibilities of a Kenyan citizen. Paying taxes, you participate in development activities, etc. Question number 10, give the meaning of national integration. It is an act or process or means of bringing people of different or diverse cultures together. It also means to bring people of different religion, races, tribe, occupation, social status into forming one nation. Mention any one level of conflict. We have number 1, individual versus individual conflict. You can also say against individual. Then we have individual versus a state. Then you have community versus or against community. This one is very simple, yet they bring it, they test it almost every exam. Very common question. Then state versus state. Then we have identify any two types of trade. We have local trade, regional trade, then international trade. In other time, they can bring you state two methods of trade. It is different from when you are told two types of trade. Methods of trade is currency and barter trade. Number 13, why was silent trade practiced by trans-Saharan traders? Number 1, because of language barrier, that is lack of common language between North African traders and those from Western Sudan. Trans-Saharan trade, that is the trade that happened that was involving people of North Africa and Western Sudan. That is the trans-Saharan trade. People or traders were moving across the desert. That's why we call it trans-Saharan trade. Next, give 2 features of Roman roads by that AD. The road surface were slightly curved. Next, they had deep trenches for draining. They were well drained. Next, had bridges across rivers and tunnels through hill. They were straight. They were raised above the ground to avoid flooding. Number 15, name 2 examples of early forms of water transports. We have rafts, we have dug out canoe, we have all driven boats, then sailing boats, and then we have sailing ships. And this question also is very common. If there is any point you want to write for us, you can easily write in the comment section, and we shall appreciate. We also request you to like this video. Number 16, what was the contribution of Alexander Graham Bell in communication? This man invented the telephone. Number 17, identify 2 disadvantages of coal as a source of energy during the Industrial Revolution. 2 disadvantages of coal. But 1, it was bulky and difficult to transport. Next, it causes environmental pollution. Next, it is expensive to mine and transport. Next, coal mining was risky as miners would be buried alive when mines collapsed. Next, it is non-renewable source of energy. That is section A. Question number 18, identify 3 theories about the origin of human being. Number 1, scientific theory, we have creation theory, and then medical theory. It is also called traditional theory. B, discuss the benefit of discovery of fire to early man. What were then the benefits of the discovery of fire? What were the benefits of man discovering fire? Number 1, fire was a source of lighting at night. Fire improved hunting activities of early man. It was used to handle tips of tools for hunting. Next, to remove poison from food. Fire was used to cook food. Fire was used for food preservation. Fire was useful in scaring animals to one's traps set for hunting. Used to burn bushes in order to cultivate the land. And then fire was used in communication. This question also is very common. Discuss the benefits of the discovery of fire. Even when you are told to discuss the culture of the man during a Middle Stone Age, because fire was discovered during Middle Stone Age, you can write these points, and then you get them correct. you can say he used fire to burn bushes in order to cultivate the land. Fire was used in communication. Fire was used to harden pottery. Fire was used to keep them warm during cold night seasons. And then last one, it was used for security, that is scaring away wild animals. We move to the next question. Give 5 reasons that influenced the migration of highland Nilotes to Kenya during pre-colonial period. 5 marks. What made the highland Nilotes to migrate to Kenya? Number 1, natural calamities in their cradle land, for example, drought and famine. Next, they were searching for fresh pasture and water for their livestock. Next, external attack from some neighboring communities, population pressure in their homeland. Then we have human and livestock epidemics in their homeland, internal conflict within the community, and then the last one is the spirit of adventure. Some individuals among this community, that is highland Nilotes, they had the spirit of adventure. They wanted to know more about near geographical areas, and because of that they kept moving from one place to another, trying to explore and know what was ahead. Finally they found themselves moving far away. Next, we have described the social organization of Agikuyu during the pre-colonial period. This question also is very common. You can be brought a question talking about any community in Kenya, so be prepared for that. The smallest social unit was family. Several elite families formed a clan, that is Bari, which lived in a refined area. The Agikuyu practiced circumcision for both boys and girls. The Agikuyu had age system Rika, made up of boys and girls who were initiated at the same time. Marriage was polygamous and exogamous. Marriage of many wives was highly valued. The Agikuyu believed in existence of a supreme god, Gai, who lived on Mount Kenya, Kirinyaga. They believed in the existence of ancestral spirits who acted as intermediaries between God and the people. When we are told to describe social organization, we found that some students describe political organization or economic organization. That's why it is very important for you to keenly understand the question, because if you can't understand the question, then you cannot answer correctly. And you can say 50% of the students who fail, these are the students who do not take time. They don't take time to check the questions, and therefore they answer the questions wrongly. They give wrong answers, and therefore they fail. Next, they had sacred places of worship such as Mugumotri. Then there was division of labor according to gender. Next, we have you are told state 5 reasons why the Akamba participated in the long distance trade. This one is also very common. You might find it in exam this year. So why did the Akamba participated in the long distance trade? But one, their land was geographically positioned between the coast and the interior. Number 2, the territory was endowed with important trade goods. Next, they had skilled merchants who organized the trade. Next, their territory was arid and hence not good for agriculture. This encouraged them to trade to obtain their needs or to obtain food. Next, high demand of trade items from their territory, e.g. ivory and quid. at the end and equity market. Their items hand and equity market. Then existence of trade routes between coast and the interior. And then we have they were great hunters. This helped them to acquire trade. Their Kamba community. Their Kamba community currently they live in 3 counties in Kenya. We have Machakos, we have Kitui, we have Makueni County, we have Machakos, we have Kitui.